from the water's surface is an iconic image of a predator at work. It barely makes a ripple. It's a perfectly adapted hunter. The team's working carefully to uncover perhaps the most unusual part of the croc's anatomy: its heart.
This heart is about the size of a human heart. A human heart's about the size of your fist, and that's about what we have here in terms of volume. Yeah, I think you might be looking at the right aortic arch there.
Yeah, I'm just.
That's nice. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
This is all fat, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to remove that.
Very delicately going down through there.
The heart's ancient features may have evolved hundreds of millions of years ago, but its unique layout makes it ideally suited to this predator's way of life.
There's a lot more tubes than you see in a human heart, so it's a little bit tricky.
The main aorta that carries blood from the heart to the body can be identified by its curved shape, known as the aortic arch. But bizarrely, unlike most animals, crocodiles have more than one.
We're trying to find the other aortic arch. In humans, you have just a left aortic arch. In birds, you have a right aortic arch. And if you look at amphibians, you actually have both. So embryologically, you start out with both and you lose one or the other depending which way you go along that evolutionary tree. Crocodiles have kept the right aortic arch, like birds do. But interestingly, this animal, the crocodile, may also have some remnant of the left aortic arch. And so we're looking to trace that and see if we can find that here.
Just as in humans, the croc has an artery to take blood from the heart to the lungs, and an aorta to take blood to the rest of the body. But the croc's mysterious extra aorta has puzzled biologists for decades. This aortic anomaly is the focus of research for Colleen Farmer. In her rooftop lab in Utah, she's had a breakthrough that might explain the need for this extra blood vessel. Her feisty subjects are a group of American alligators. She wants to see if there's a link between the extra aorta and how crocodilians are able to consume massive meals of meat and bone.
I want to understand how fast they digest their food. And one way to do that is to actually image the bones that they swallow. So they don't chew their food, they just swallow big pieces whole. So the bone will end up in the stomach of the animal intact. And then we're going to catch one of them and take it up to the x-ray machine to take our first measurement of the bone.
This alligator's different from the others. Its extra aorta is blocked, and Colleen hopes to see if that affects its digestion.
He's so cooperative.
Every few days, she x-rays her gators to check how quickly they're digesting food.
So what we see here are images of two different alligators. This image was taken 13 days after the animal ate its bone. And there's no evidence whatsoever of that bone in its stomach. In contrast, this alligator on the right-hand side has had the left aorta blocked. It doesn't have the special conduit anymore. And it was taken 16 days after the animal had eaten the bone, and we see considerable pieces of the bone left. Right here.
In gators with blocked aortas, Colleen finds digestion almost grinds to a halt. The extra aorta clearly plays a crucial role, and the secret may lie inside the heart. Blood that's travelled around the body is rich in carbon dioxide, a vital ingredient in the production of stomach acid. When needed, a tiny valve in the heart diverts this acidic blood to the stomach. This could be the key to the production of the extra stomach acid crocodiles generate to digest their massive prey. The team knows this crocodile wasn't digesting food properly, but they've yet to find out why, and they're running out of areas that might hold clues. Samuel had noticed his crocodile was behaving strangely back at the breeding centre, lingering in the water longer than usual. Crocs and gators normally spend most of their day lying out in the sun, warming their cold-blooded bodies. They'll compete for the best basking sites and call to each other to mark territory or attract a mate. Joy wants to try to reproduce the sound a crocodile makes.
If this animal were to exhale and send a lot of air through its throat, we should get some sound from the voice box, the larynx, which is located right in here. I might need you to lift the mouth for me so that we can get the air to come out.
Okay, so
let's see what happens.
There?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh yeah, this is exactly it. Yeah. It sounds really like this, and when it comes from way through the lung, it's even more strong and more impressive. That's it.
And do they do it with the mouth right open, or?
Oh yeah, very often the peak of roaring is during the mating season. Yeah, it goes a lot, showing how impressive I am and how strong I can yell, and telling other males, okay, I want to keep my piece of water for me.
This croc died during mating season, a perilous time for a male. It could be a clue to the cause of its death. The dissection team wants to find out if this croc was sexually active before it died, but crocodiles keep their reproductive organs well hidden inside their bodies.
The testes and the ovaries in the females are found in behind the guts when the animal's on its back, so they're kind of dorsally positioned on these animals, and in this case going along the epididymis here, where the sperm's stored. It's going to be conducted out to the penis here, and these fingers will sort of come together to help channel the sperm into the female.
Sorry to interrupt, but so you know when you were blowing up the lungs, inflating the lungs, you said the right side was not inflating as much. If you look in there, we have the most horrible mess, and we've got really strong adhesions between the lung and the chest wall.
So it had a respiratory problem.
It certainly has a respiratory problem.
Okay, so we think the digestive system problems that we saw, whatever that was, that green alien soup that came out of its stomach, probably secondary to the fact that it was very ill.
Indeed, absolutely.
Okay. And that's a vicious cycle, presumably. Once you become ill, you can't get then to your basking sites, you can't get to food quicker, and it's just a downward spiral.
Yeah, and it's probably why it did eat some leaves and some